Hello, everybody, and happy 20th of May. Wednesday is Wednesday, isn't it? 20th of May at 2 o'clock. This is our regular Wednesday Facebook Live, and I'm just shoving my glasses on so I can actually see you all. Hey! I hope you're all okay. And I know this is probably not a Facebook Live that you guys are used to, or perhaps were expecting, because over the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 weeks now, we've been doing webinars and kind of teachers really on specific topics, all about social media, in the hopes just to give back some value and some knowledge to the small business community. I'm just going to check to make sure. Thank you very much, Rachel. It is Wednesday. It's getting a bit like that. I kind of go, is it Wednesday or is it Tuesday or Monday? But that's all good. The sun is shining and it is Mental Health Awareness Week this week. And that's why today's live is no presentation. It is maybe not the usual format of a teach as such, to show you guys what to do with certain apps and tools and how to use Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, etc. What I wanted to do today was talk about social media and its impact on mental health. And this is something that I've spoken about on the radio before, blogged about, spoken about on Facebook myself many a time. But it's something that I feel quite passionately about. I feel quite passionately about mental health as well. Having not realised until recent, I'd probably say 18 months, I've been on a journey to understand things like depression and anxiety, and being very self-aware with sort of feelings that I've had myself, and low mood and the difference between all those things. And yeah, so it's something that I do feel passionate, and I think we all need to talk about a lot more. I've also suffered as a child from bullying, so I know that feeling of, what that feels like, and I know that social media gets a lot of stick for giving bullies, etc., a bigger voice, which is true. But I do feel like sometimes social media gets the blame for that, as opposed to the person or the individual. And I think it's really important that we talk about, when it comes to social media, what tools are available on those sites that can help eliminate some of those things for a start, but also talk about the tools that are available on social media sites for you to manage your own mental health. Hope that sounds okay. If you've got any questions, do pop them in the comments box for me. I'm more than happy to pick them up. Because people don't realise that actually most social media channels do have some sort of privacy setting or functionality that you can use to protect yourself, but not many people know where to find them or how to use them. In recent months as well, obviously this has been on the top of a lot of people's agendas and a lot of the tech giants' agendas. So they're always releasing updates and always working on anti-bullying measures and functions and settings. So I've got a whole list of notes that I wanted to go through with you, and I'm going to have my phone, so I'm going to show you where to find them on various channels, because they're all slightly different. But one of the things I would really encourage you to all do is to two things. One is to evaluate who you're actually friends with and who is in your circle on social media. You have the power to unfriend people. You have the power to decide who you accept. You have the power to decide what you see in your news feed. If none of that stuff is serving you anymore, then you need to get rid. And we'll talk about that in a sec. And the other thing I would say is you need to familiarize yourself with some settings that are now available on phones to limit screen time. Because I have found, certainly working in this business over the last 8 weeks since we've been in lockdown, that I have been overwhelmed with digital, overwhelmed with notifications, with screens brightening and popping and all this stuff, and it has got to me. So I'm going to take some of my own advice today as well, but hopefully this is kind of helpful for you. So one thing I would say, if you're on an iPhone, this can happen. You can get this on an Android as well. I haven't yet looked at where it is on the settings though. So yeah, 2 mobiles. On Apple, if you go into your settings, okay, if you scroll down, you should have in the middle of the screen an option that says, oh, I'm down here now, aren't I? Screen time. So it's around here somewhere. Screen time. If you click on screen time, it will tell you your daily average time that you're spending online, but it also gives you functions at the bottom there to limit your screen time and to limit your apps, okay? So little button at the top there called downtime. If you press that, you can schedule a time to be away from the screen. So this will basically stop any notifications, any apps pinging off, any calls coming through onto your phone. When you flick that over, you can start to set a routine of times where your phone is basically uninterruptible. That's such a word. Underneath the settings as well, you've then got an option called app limits or limit apps. You can then set daily time limits for app categories that you want to manage on a day by day. So if you categorize all your apps in terms of games, entertainment, friends, social, etc., you can limit the notifications, the pop-up messages, push notifications that you get based on those categories. And they can be done on a day by day, or you can and they will automatically reset at midnight. Excuse me. In those same settings, you can limit based on communications. So the third one down there, you've got communication limits. You can set up boundaries and parameters for people in your contact book to contact you at certain times or not. Okay, so really familiarize yourself with that on your phones. And during this time, even more so than ever, please be mindful of screen time, because, and I keep saying this to the team and to others that I've been speaking to over the last week, but there have been certain points over the last 7 weeks where I've had 2 phones, 2 laptops, and all of them are going off at once. And that really isn't healthy. So you need to put boundaries in for yourself to manage that kind of screen time. So settings on iPhone, that will, I don't know why I've got a scratchy throat today. Settings on iPhone, settings on Android as well. Not only that, but each individual social media channel app will have its own security settings, and it will also tells you how much time you're using on each of these social media channels. Familiarize yourself with that. If you have children, sit down with them and show them where to find this information as well, and have a conversation with them about, how much time they're spending looking at their phone. Ask them how they're feeling. Have a conversation together about, what can we do that's not on the phone, and how can we put in some own personal barriers and boundaries around that. So if you open up your Facebook profile, ding, 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 down on the right-hand side is your little blue bars, if you so to speak, little list. Scroll all the way down and you'll get to settings and privacy. Again, not many people look at the settings and privacy, but if you, I'm going to go through that in a sec. You've got time on Facebook. You see that little button down there? Clicking on that, it tells me how much I'm spending on average on the app. This is obviously just on my phone. As a digital and marketing and social agency, I'm spending way more time on these channels than on my browser or my laptop versus on my phone. So you can even set daily time reminders. So you can set yourself limits for how long you want to be on your phone on this app for. Okay, so again, if you've got children, this is a good tool to use. limit your time on Facebook to 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day or whatever it is. Make use of that function. You can also edit in here your newsfeed preferences. So again, I get asked a lot, like, how do I keep seeing all this stuff in my newsfeed and it's boring me and I don't know why I see it and it's really annoying and da, da, da. You can edit your newsfeed preferences and you can tell Facebook what to show you. This little option here under the settings, again, is manage your feed preferences. So you can start to tell Facebook things like who you want to see first, whether or not you want to unfollow somebody, follow somebody, or block something. So make the most of that. Going back into the settings and privacy, you've also got, we've just had a look at your time on Facebook, but above there you have settings and privacy as well. Under privacy, so if you tap on settings and privacy, under privacy settings, you can actually see what you're set up to do. So whether or not you're set up for everybody to see your content, only individuals, only specific people, etc. Make sure you check all that. Okay, it's really important to know who's actually seeing your content and whether or not you want that to be the case. Cool, so that is a bit about privacy. So again, if you go into your Facebook app and then down the bottom left is 3 little lines, click on that, scroll right to the bottom, and then you get your information about how long you've been on Facebook, as well as your settings to change your privacy. Okay, if you are in the feed, okay, and you're scrolling through something, you're scrolling through your feed, and you want to block something, at the top of each post, again, people don't know much about this, or don't often do enough. Let's take this post here. There are 3 little dots to the right-hand corner of every post. If you click those, you'll get an option that asks, why are you seeing it? So you can understand why it's happened, ping into your feed. You can also block it. You can block that person and you can report it. So if you are seeing hateful content, harmful content, content that's bullying or comments that you don't want to see, you can report that on Facebook. And the more you do it, the more those sorts of accounts will get banned. So key point there is that you are in control of what you see on your Facebook feeds. And that's the same for Instagram, and it's the same for Twitter as well. You can block comments, you can report comments. Instagram allows you to set daily reminders as well. So it can send you daily reminders of when you've reached your max screen time or max preferred screen time. Again, people don't look at this enough. If you go onto your Instagram profile, in the top right-hand corner, I'm really sorry for coughing down the camera at you guys there. In the top right, you've got 3 little lines, and this then takes you to all of your privacy settings, again, similar to Facebook. Hit the wrong one there, hit the COVID-19 button. So 3 little lines in the top right, settings, privacy. If you go to this little option that says your activity, you can see here it's telling me that on average I only spend 5 minutes a day apparently on Instagram on this phone. Not quite the same on the other phone, I can assure you. But it also gives you a daily reminder, so you can set boundaries and limits on how long you want to be on this app, and you can set it to tell you when you're reaching that maximum. You can also pause notifications. So if, like us, you manage multiple Instagram accounts, and of course we can only have them on our phones, and you create some great content and you start getting all these notifications about likes and comments, you can pause these. So under notification settings, you can pause all, and then you can tell it how long you want to pause those notifications for. So get yourself some quiet time on all your apps. It's really important. and learn how to curate your own news feeds. Get rid of people, unfollow people, report content that you see that is that you don't like, that is against the community guidelines of Facebook, that might be fake news, bullying, or harassment, all that stuff. Okay, so that's a bit about settings on where to find them and taking control of your own social media feeds. The other thing is just some advice, really. Oh, and WhatsApp as well. That was the other thing I was going to say. Who has used the pause notifications function on WhatsApp? Because right now I'm in so many WhatsApp groups, or have been in the past, so many WhatsApp groups or conversations that I absolutely love hearing from everybody. I'm a social being, super social, and I'm missing that contact with people. So naturally everyone's flooded to digital, which is great, but all these messages come through, and that is very overwhelming, again, for the brain to constantly see these push notifications flashing up. So I always use the pause. So on your Instagram, you would get to a message, swipe to the left, and then click the more, and then you can click mute. I don't know why I said like that. Mute. And then you can mute it for up to 8 hours or more. Or less, sorry. Yeah, 8 or more. 8 hours 1 week, 1 year. Oh, mute somebody for a year. Oh. So WhatsApp, that's really important, because I know a lot of people are using WhatsApp groups. Be sure to use that mute function. Okie doke. So limiting time, using your settings, making sure you're reporting stuff that you're not comfortable, curating your own news feed, and then some kind of personal pieces of advice and tips are to be self-aware to the scroll. It's become habit that we might pick up our phone first thing in the morning, or we sit down, we take a break at lunchtime, and the first thing we do is open Facebook, and we just start going, don't we? And we get lost, even on a desktop. You get lost in a kind of Instagram hole, I call it, where you just scroll, searching, finding, discovering, which is the beauty of social. But you have to be really self-aware to that scroll behavior and think to yourself, what am I going on here for? What am I looking for? What am I doing? And even if it is, I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy my feed. I want to check in with friends. That's great. But be aware about how long you're doing that for. And if suddenly you think, you know what, I'm scrolling and I'm not finding anything or seeing anything I enjoy, step away from the scroll, and be really self-aware with that, because you will lose time. And plus all those other things that naturally might happen when you're scrolling through and seeing other people's lives and great pictures of this, and they're all fine in lockdown or whatever, that can be quite damaging to your personal feelings as well. So be self-aware to the scroll. Putting phones away. If you're at work, like I said, right now I've got a desk set up with 1 laptop, 2 phones, and another laptop here at times. I have to force myself to put phones away and turn them over so that I'm not distracted when they start pinging and when I start getting notifications. Having a break. I think, we're encouraged in the work environment to get up and stretch our legs and have a break. We must remember to do that when working from home as well. But having a break from the screen and, refocusing, looking elsewhere, looking outside, training your eyes to focus in on something else in different distances is a healthy thing to do. Drinking lots of water is really key, because it's quite dehydrating to the eyes to be stuck on social media and looking through screens all the time. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Going back to having a break or putting things on pause in WhatsApp is being honest in those WhatsApp groups and just saying, I'm putting you on pause, or I'm not gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna take a couple of days off, and giving yourself permission not to post, and know that's okay. Being honest and saying, I physically cannot respond to everybody when you send stuff through all the time. I have to do it in set blocks and give myself that space. So give yourself permission not to be active and posting in these groups all the time, and being honest with your friends and family and saying, I can't be here tonight, or I'm taking a few hours off. I'll catch up with you all. Hope you're well. Okay. Hey Hills, nice to see you. Similarly to things on Facebook, I've gone from a period of time where I was pretty active on Facebook. Actually, I would, if from a personal capacity, and I would post every day or most days, and then I got really busy with work. Other things start happening in life, and you don't do so much. But then suddenly people go, "Oh, what's wrong with them?" Give yourself that. That's okay for you to not post. Give yourself permission not to be on there all the time, and not feel guilty for not checking in. Literally checking in and doing stuff and creating that content on your personal feeds. Which kind of pulls me into my last point, really, about connecting and seeing friends and family online during Mental Health Awareness Week. Why I've kind of brought it up now, and something for us all to go away with and remember is to, during this time in general, during lockdown, where we're all struggling in our own ways for one reason or another. The theme of this year's Mental Health Awareness Week is kindness. So be kind to people. If you're giving yourself that enjoyment time of social media to check in and post and see friends, say nice things, say hello, share some love. The really cute care reaction button now on Facebook. Like, reach out to people and be nice and be kind to them. If you haven't heard from someone in a while, perhaps check in on them, send them a private message. If you see something on Facebook that is perhaps upsetting, or you feel worried about somebody, then ask them if they're okay. I think within that scroll addiction, we can often get trapped in being a voyeur of other people's business and kind of going, what's been going on there then? Or, oh dear, awkward, scroll past. If something is, either it's going to fall into two categories: something's really annoyed you and you really don't agree with that person's point of view, in which case, like I said at the very beginning, you have the control, you have the power to control that. Block them, unfollow them, unfriend them, report them, whatever. If it's somebody that you know and you think, actually, that's concerned me, that's worried me, say hi. If you haven't heard from somebody, seen somebody online for years, months, days, when they're usually quite active, think about actually checking up on them and saying hello. If we are going to be forced into a situation where we have these screens available and that's the only way we can communicate at best, then we need to use them mindfully and we need to look out for each other. And we all have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility for the content that we are creating online. We can choose what we are sharing out. We did a lot of work around fake news at the beginning of this pandemic and the beginning of lockdown, in trawling social media groups and sites and Twitter and all sorts to debunk fake news and rumours, because it's not healthy and it's not a responsible way to use the internet. We all have a responsibility to what content we choose to share on. So if you are seeing articles like that could create and cause anxiety in people, please think before you share it on. Please check the sources. And again, be mindful of other people and how they're going to be interacting and absorbing this content. Yeah, I think that's it. And again, on the back of the responsibility side, if you see stuff that's wrong, that is fake news, that is spam or questionable, report it. People, please do report it. Report accounts. And for anybody who's jumping on at this last moment, I can see we've got a few more people than when we started, please familiarize yourself with your settings on your apps and on your phone. Give yourself downtime, give yourself screen breaks, stay focused when you be self-aware and focused about the reason why you're using social media sites when you come to use them. And don't get lost down that rabbit hole of scrolling and veering off here and there, and then getting so self-absorbed when you're looking at every other person's life and all that stuff. So yeah, that's it from me this week. I hope that was useful. Olga, thank you. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, don't feel guilty. It's hard work, particularly for certain characters who are quite extrovert or social and always communicative. You can't do it. You have to put yourself first, and it's just, and I found out the hard way, or have found out, or close to finding out the hard way. But you can't live on all these sites and digital. So you have to just tell people, can't do it. Sorry, I'm dipping out for a few hours. Can't do that Zoom meeting tonight, etc. Yes, absolutely. You can share this to help others manage their time. Yes. Please, anybody, please share. That's great. And if you've got any questions, then do just reach out and ask. Always happy to help. I will add this to my list of blog posts that I really, really want to write, and I will try and get it out as soon as possible. I won't promise you on a date. I can't do that. But if that was useful, I will try. And even if it's just bullet point, all those things. Thank you so much for joining me. For everybody who's watched, I really, really appreciate it. Our next Facebook Live is on Friday. We are continuing with our business shout outs once a week. Do check out the events section of our page to see who will be interviewing this Friday. If you want to get involved, it's info@naturallysocial.co.uk. Just drop us a line. And in terms of the free webinars, this session is actually going to be drawing those to a close. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it at all. We've been delivering these free webinars now, Facebook Lives, for the last 8 weeks continuously, every Wednesday, every Friday. And we've been jumping into our exclusive Facebook group to give even more free content. And it's come to the time where people are starting to pick up, businesses are now getting going and starting to think about how they're going to start returning to work, and our focus is now going into supporting our clients to get their comms up and running. But we do, well, two things. I still deliver content on the Enterprise Nation page, so do go and check that out. I'm on there in a couple of weeks' time, and they're all free to access vids. But we're going to start doing tailored content and start changing subject matter. And we're going to be doing more strategic webinars starting from next week at 2 o'clock. The first webinar I'm going to be hosting for a charge is all about video content, how to create video for social media. It's going to be 45 minutes to an hour long. I'm going to be helping you to get clarity on what videos you should be creating, where and when, how you can create video on your social media channels for next to nothing. And I'm also going to give you the confidence to make your first video. So we're going to be covering all those things and more. Plus, we'll be giving you a free copy of our ebook to support your learning. It's next week at 2 p.m. I'm going to pop the link into the comments now. It's £20 for 45 minutes, plus a free ebook. So if you want to join me, that would be amazing. It'll be hosted via Zoom. So it's all, let me see if I can find it. So it's all secure and it will be exclusive to you guys. And I'm going to pop the link when it loads into the comments box below. So if you want to join us, that would be amazing. I'll go and find it now and I'll pop it in there. But thank you to everybody for watching. It's been great to see you all, and I hope you're all well and safe. And just let me know if I can help at all in the future. So take care. I'll see you hopefully next Wednesday. Bye.